Good morning, students. In Jai Hind. We are going to study today regarding the sociology as a science. Sociology as a science and sociology and common sense knowledge. Two things basically of intellectuals' contribution in the development of sociology. The two things we shall focus today upon that. And first of all, in the last or in previous class, I I mentioned about the objectivity of the sociology. Now means a sociologist must be not aligned or not present the relative ideas must not be the influenced by the any relative ideas or any his influenced by his likings or unlikings or not should not be must not be influenced by the his environment, circumstances, or the society in which he is the living. So to write down and create the sociological knowledge created, the sociologist must have to be keep away and keep off and ward off all the things which are going to influence him while he is sitting down for the getting the findings in the sociology and in the sociological knowledge he is going to represent the sociological knowledge and going to investigate or examine the sociological knowledge. So he must have to be the keep off and the ward of all such kind of the thinkings and the thinkings which are which and that could that can influence his neutrality, influence his now objectivity. He should not be the as the example had been given by the Peter Berger. Peter Berger gave the example that now a sociology a spy when the two countries are at war. So now the here the intelligence or a spy plays a very important role in the now getting the information and the conveying the information or the intelligence to both the country. But the spy the spy who is now getting the information and collecting the information, those are the preferred and those are the preferred and the likings of his officials, liking of his officials. So his information, particular information which those he collected on the basis of a or his liking his officials and the liking and unliking of officials. So his information is of no use either for the enemy's sides or for his own sides, no at all. And his information is useless. Why? Because the information he is carrying is completely biased and picked up dictated by the preference of his official, which way he was that he was going to represent. Understand? So now we are looking here for that. So today that's things. So I have to tell you that a sociologist who is going to investigate this, about the social action and social relations must have to be the neutral, neutral, and the objective. For that neutrality, the better word you can use the objectivity. The two term I have written here. One, the objectivity. The when the facts, any fact is produced without the without any influenced without any influenced by the uh, sociologist, understand. So now that kind of the facts and the representation can be the term as a objective objective. But if he or she now produce the information and the any information which are the influenced information which is influenced by his own thinking, whether dictated by the other person, or 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 the preference of his society, own society, and on the basis of preference of his caste or the religion, by any way, understand, by influenced by any way. So that kind of the representation or information can be the called as the information based on subjectivity. The students, here we are going to see that this is the sociology which you are studying is whether a science or not. How far it is the science, how far this sociology deserves for to be called as a sociologist. First of all, and from the beginning understood itself as a science. In the beginning, sociology has been the understood itself as a science, and moreover, unlike the common sensical observation means, if you are living in the society, and whatever you are observing about the society, right from your little age until up to till the, understand, you are the observing the society, we all are observing the society, and we have the knowledge about society. It is the quite fact, it is the fact that we all have the knowledge about this, because we are the inalienable part of the society. We are all are the inalienable part of the society. We have the knowledge about the society, but and the knowledge, and this is the called as the common sensical observations. This is the, and the unlike the common sensical observations or philosophical reflection or the theological uh, uh, theological theological commentaries, sociology is bound. Although in the theology, what happens? Good, bad, moral, immoral, sin, sacred. This is the talk in the theology, the religious matters. So this is not an objective at all. Understand? So now here we are seeing that whether the common and in the common sensical knowledge, why common sensical knowledge differs in what way from the sociological knowledge differs in the way that the sociological knowledge are collected, knowledge are based on established on the basis of the scientific procedures, a principle and the knowledge are gathered and procured on the basis of a on the basis of the on the basis of principles, discipline, on the basis of the some discipline, understand. So that is why the sociological knowledge and common sense knowledge is a much knowledge is acquired by the common sense or by the experiences, understand. But these are not collected, these are not recorded as a discipline, these are not treated as on a basic, on the basis of the principles, on the basis of the scientific procedures are not adopted, understand, students. So I am talking about that this these are the commentaries. Sociologist is a bound by scientific canons of the procedures. A sociologist who produce the knowledge about the society and investigates anything about the society, he is the bound by the scientific canons of procedures. Scientific canons of the procedures is the bound, because he is the bounded. A sociologist is bounded by the scientific rules, scientific procedures. Procedures he or she now adopts, that binds him to get the findings of the his study or her study. And moreover, it means that the statements that the sociologist arrives at must be arrived at through the. So it means that a sociologist, whatever the statements he arrives at, the subject and theme he arrives at must be. It means that must be, and through the arrived through the observation of certain rules. He observes, sociologist observes a certain rules, and the now evidence, rules and evidence he collects that allow others to check on or the repeat to develop his findings further. So now those his facts or his observation through the certain rules, this makes others this makes others to check on or repeat to develop the findings, her or his findings in further. So the sociologist of the any sociologist findings, his outcomes, consequences, and his result must be having gone through the sociological of the gone through the observations methods, gone through the certain observations method. Findings must have been the just achieved or secured by the process, by the scientific process. Why? Because this will discipline will help. A disciplined way produced knowledge will help the other to check upon this, and will also now help his or her to now accelerate their study further. Understand? So this is the sociological way, and there has been the considerable debate within the sociology about the difference between the natural science and the human science. Or this is the reason that there has been a very hot discussion between a natural scientist and the social scientist. There has been a very hot discussion whether and now the sociology and sociologists claim that their knowledge and their subject is the science, because they follow all the procedures, scientific procedures and scientific methods to get at the final result, to approach the final to get and to having their access to the final results. We can see that. And moreover, we are the here say looking the quantitative difference between the natural science and the human science, and now quantitative and the qualitative research. We did not enter this here, but what is the relevant here is that sociology in its observation and analysis, sociology in its observation and analysis has to follow certain rules. Sociology in its observation or analysis has to follow the certain rules and regulations, and moreover, and can be checked upon by the others, or it can be the checked upon by the others, because you have followed the rules and regulation, and according to that rules and regulations enables others to make the check upon your findings. Understand? So this is the matter of the debate in the sociology. Further, we are the And looking here in the next section, we compare sociological knowledge to the common sense knowledge, which will once again emphasize the role of the methods. And this will, in the next chapters, we shall have the discussion. This topic has been deleted this year, the research methodology, that is the fifth chapter of this book, I suppose. Understand? So now here observations, that will be the in the final chapters. Okay, that's but that will be the that is the deleted, but it is a very useful, that chapter is, and you should go through yourself that chapter. However, this has been deleted. Understand? But we should study that, because our entire knowledge, scientific knowledge, or our observations and our methods are based on by which the sociological studies are done. So now, students, I shall further mention here before you the sociology and common sense knowledge. First of all, common sense knowledge. Now, sociological knowledge is different from the theological knowledge. I am telling me again and again, theological knowledge. What do you understand by theological knowledge? Means the knowledge related to the religion. Understand? And the religious and the any orders of the beliefs. Theological knowledge and philosophical observations, the thoughtful observation by the scientists, or by the philosophers and the thinkers. This is the now here we see that is sociological knowledge is different from theological knowledge and philosophical knowledge. Why? Why it is a difference? This is a differ because sociological knowledge now follow the all kind of the procedures and the methods, observation methods, different methods, scientific methods. They follow for findings the fact. Now, likewise, observation. Likewise, the sociology is different from common sense observation. In the common sense observation is completely based on our own observation, our own findings, without without having been applied any kind of the scientific way and the method. So, in the common sensial explanation, the common sense explanations are generally based on what may be called the naturalistics. Now, common sense observation is called as the naturalistics, uh, naturalistics, and it is also called as the individualists, individualistic. Understand? It is also called, and the explanation, a naturalistic explanation for behavior, for our behavior, rest on the assumption or imagination that one can really identify natural reasons for behavior. Now this is the completely based that naturalists now believe, or they realize that one can really identify natural reasons for behavior. Okay, the students, now we shall see that these naturalistics. Further, the sociology thus breaks away from the both. Now sociology breaks away from two. First, philosophical knowledge, and and the and the theological knowledge, philosophical knowledge, and common sensial knowledge. In both knowledge, sociology is uh, quite different. And here, sociology has the breaks away from both the sense, common sense observation, and the ideas, as well as philosophical thoughts. Common sense observation, ideas, and philosophical thoughts. Sociology now isolates itself. Sociology now separate itself. How? It does not always or even generally lead to the expect, spectacular results, but meaningful and unsuspected connection can be the reached only by sifting through the masses of connections. Great advances now the only the correct or unsuspected knowledge and the findings could be only achieved by sifting through the masses of connection. Understand? It means that a sociologist must have to be the neutral and not to be the not to be the aligned with the masses. I have to say, he should be amongst the masses, but should not be the aligned with them, because he or she has to produce a, a neutral or a disciplined result. This should not be the aligned in that. And moreover, but here the meaningful, unsuspected, great advances in sociological knowledge have been made. Many advances since the ancient time, medieval time, or the made generally incrementally, only rarely by the dramatic breakthrough. Or these advancements in the knowledge of the sociology or about its study had been the very dramatic. Means its development is the very sudden or the very dramatic way. Moreover, sociology has the body of concepts. Sociology is what? It is the body of concepts, methods, and data. Concept, methods, and data. Concept, methods, and data. This is the sociology has the many of the concepts, data, and no matter how loosely coordinated, this concept and data are coordinated to find and reach out the consequences. Coordinated means in a very well manner, these all are supported by each others to get at the finding. Understand? Supporting each others, each methods supporting the others to get at the right result and the right consequences. So these all data and the observations or the methods are coordinated. However, it is the loosely, but coordinated. This can't be the substituted by common sense, or this can't be substituted by common sense, because common sense knowledge is maybe much knowledge and the much realistic knowledge, but it's had it can't be the up to mark of the sociological knowledge, because here is a great lacuna is that this is the no procedures and the scientific methods have been applied in common sense knowledge. Understand? So in that respect, it is the different, and now this can't be the substituted and common sense. Common sense is unreflective, since it does not question its own origins. Suppose you have now find out a lot about the society. Okay, you are studying and observing. Understand? But one question is that common sense knowledge does not question its own origins. Common sense knowledge, if you are the gathering and someone has gathered, does not question himself, origin of that knowledge himself. No, where he forgets himself, he is not able to keep himself alone and isolated from the society in which he is living. Those knowledge are not already aware, he or she is not aware of the scientific methods or the discipline by which he or she could represent and could produce the right knowledge about the sociology. Now here students, we are going to see that common sense unreflective, since it does not, and moreover, in other words, it does not ask itself, why do I hold this view? common sensuous person does not question himself. Why do I hold this view? Because he, from the beginning, does not isolate himself from the alignment of the society to which or to the society in which he is the and to which he is the studying, not following any discipline on the procedures of the sociologist, scientific procedures or method of the sociologist. So here we find students that the sociologist must be ready to ask of any our belief. Sociologist must be asked the any our questions about ourselves, no matter how cherished, but it is the questionable. Is this really so? Both the systematic and questioning approach of sociology is derived from a broader tradition of scientific investigation. Now, the sociological approach has been through the derived from the broader tradition of the scientific investigation. It means in the sociological study, the scientific investigation has been now made and followed. A broader scientific investigation had been followed there here, and this emphasis on the scientific procedures can be understood only if we go back in the time. Only go in the back on the time, because these procedures have developed for a long time. And moreover, if we go back and understand context or the social situation within which sociological perspectives emerged, and sociology was greatly influenced by the great developments in the modern science. Now the society has been, we have to be the go back, and we have to be the observe in what way our social and our society and social activities have been influenced a great deal, or a far extents through the advent of the modernity in the world. What extent the modern world and modern environment have changed our society, changed the society had been gone a very tremendous manner. Modern science, let's have a very brief look at what intellectuals ideas went into the making of a sociology. So we should now let's say go into the ideas the which the intellectuals they have now given in the growth and the development of the sociology. How the sociology became the very much scientific. So these ideas had come from our intellectuals. Time to time, our intellectuals have now marked the sociology a very ideology they have given, ideology they have produced about our study of the sociology. Understand? So now next topic, we have to be the study the intellectual ideas that went into the making of a sociology. So in this topic, we have to see that how the intellectual ideas of Karl Marx, ideas of Durkheim, ideas of the Max Weber, ideas of the Manu, ideas of the Kautilya, ideas of the modern thinkers have made ideas of the Charles Darwin, Herbert Spencer. Their ideas have helped in the making the sociology, and West idea that went making of the sociology. It means that how these thinkers, Karl Marx, Emile Durkheim, Max Weber, and others. They have uh, Augustus Comte. He is the father of the sociology. He is called as the father of sociology. Augustus Comte. Understand the how these intellectuals have made and shaped the sociology. Understand the students. This is uh, for today, and next topic how the intellectual have helped and how the economic factors shape the sociological and sociological activities we shall study further in next class. Thank you very much for attending the class.